Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat petang and very good evening. Terima kasih kepada semua kerana sudi bersama kami pada hari ini untuk sesi bicara bersama penulis Prof. Dr. Balakrishnan, anak lelaki Parasuraman dan turut serta Miss Nazani Dara dari Universiti Cyberjaya. Tajuk buku yang akan dibicarakan ialah Employee Participation in Malaysia, Theory and Practice terbitan penerbit UMK. Untuk sebarang pertanyaan, tinggalkan di ruangan komen. First of all, thank you for joining our session, Author Talk today with Prof. Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman and Ms. Nazani Dara from University of Cyberjaya. Let's start book review by MK Press, Employee Participation in Malaysia, Theory and Practice. Drop any questions in the comment box. Let's welcome Ms. Nazani Dara and Prof. Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nazani and I'm from University of Cyberjaya, a PhD student under the supervision of Prof. Bala. So before we start today's session, I would like to just give a brief introduction of Prof. Bala. Prof. Bala has done his PhD in Wollongong, Australia, Master in the field of IR and HR in Stirling, UK, and Bachelor in Social Science in USA, Malaysia. Prof has 26 years of experience in university, 17 years in UMS, and 9 years in UMK. And also Prof has invited as a professor since 2013. Professor Dr. Bala Krishnan is the founding president of Malaysian Industrial Relation and Human Resource Association since 2020. Prof is also the advisor of Bursa Young Investor Club UMK since 2021, and he's also the patron of Lavender Literary Club India as well. Additionally, Prof is the adjunct professor of University of Cyberjaya, Malaysian University of Science and Technology, as well as Masa University. Prof is a research fellow of National Human Resource Centre, NHRC, Ministry of HR Malaysia. Till today, Prof has published around 18 books and over 200 articles. Lastly, Prof Bala has invited as a panel expert of TV and radio talk show on entrepreneurship, business, HR, and industrial relations. Hi, good afternoon, Prof. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be the moderator for today's session.
Hi Nazar, good afternoon, especially to Miss Asiati, who will be our host. And also I'd like to thanks to Library of University of Malaysia, Kelantan, and so UMK Press for inviting me to share some of my past experience and knowledge regarding on publication, especially my key book, which I said it was published out of my PhD research. And also thanks Nazar to join us for this afternoon as moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, so before we start the session, Prof, I would like to just say that participants can write their comments in the chat, and then I will read throughout this session as well. So, Prof, as you just mentioned, today the topic is about the employee participation book in Malaysia. So my first question from you, Prof, is that how, when, and why did you start writing this book, Prof?
Oh, okay. Actually, before I I joined university, when I was in undergraduate studies, I love to write. I love to write something. So at that time, I was won a short article when I was undergraduate from Utusan Malaysia, a well-known newspaper in Malaysia. I won 50 ringgit, and my photo come out in newspaper. Wow, that time you just undergraduate, no money. Suddenly your name, your photo come out in the paper, and they said you got. So that time is something related to your vision for year, something at that time. And that's how I started. And my ambition to be a professor, there was long time back when I was young. My sister told me that you need to be professor. So then my interest actually on labor relation and also IR, because my background, my family background is my mother was rubber tapper in estate, and my sister and my father is a lorry driver. And I think I saw my own eyes how suffer they are at that time, with low salary, bad working condition, and so on. That moved me to achieve ambition. I I thank God I got a offer as a teacher in Sabah. Then UMS offered me a tutorship, and I went for UK. UK is the best place to study industrial relation. And from there, I did well in my master's in science, industrial relation. I came back, and of course, I would need to pursue my PhD. Then I went to Australia, University of Wollongong, and I focused so much on IR, labor relation, and of course, human resource employment relation. So why the books here? As I told you, as a professional lecturer, whether you perish or survive, that's all. Okay, whether you publish or survive, this is what advice my dean, Yang Bahagia Datuk Qasim Ahmad. He was dean in UMS. He told me when we was a young lecturer, either perish or publish. So then we see, wow, what's going on, publish or perish. Then I start write in newspaper suddenly, and then when the book is out, of course, PhD is not easy. When I was in Australia, then I realized how tough is PhD. It's not that easy that what everybody think. Not that easy, because that's a last degree. They're going to award you a doctor, and then I feel that it's not that easy to earn doctorate. Then I studied very, very hard, and I really want to put this book, very high quality book. And then before I came to UMK, when I was in UMS, University of Malaysia Sabah, I would like to thanks to UMS also in this context, to all the past VC and also the current VC, Professor Qasim Ahmad, also my good friend, he also HR expert. And also I'd like to thanks to all our past VC, especially our ex-VC, Yang Bahagia, Professor Daduan Cik Rose, who also expert in IR, HR. And so at that time, he asked to come back, join UMK, and that time I joined UMK still new. And of course, I'd like to thank my current past VC and now my current VC, Bahagia Professor Dr. Razli, who is also inspiration for all of us when he asked to write. And he also partly expert in HR and management science and so on. And then after that, when I came back to UMK, I thought I published a book with UMK. So my first book, I think, with UMK, actually this book, and it was my PhD thesis. Later, I will discuss with you later on. So why? Because in this book, I come up with a lot of policy related to HR and IR in Malaysia, especially to bring a good policy to that impact employers and employees. And I found that this book actually relevant to both employees and employer. And UMK is a #1 entrepreneurship university in Malaysia, as we all know, and also recognized worldwide. We also recognize by worldwide international body on entrepreneurship also recognize we are the #1 in Malaysia as a public university, 19 university. Then we just celebrate our 16 years celebration. And however, we are small, but we give a big impact. Then I found that this book will help very much helpful micro and SME industry, because the content of this book actually relevant to all these employers to set up a good policy on IR and HR. Next, actually for the young people who are in the university, they come to university to learn something and bring back the theory into the practice. So my book is actually more on theoretical background and same time practical background, because I have 3 case study real life. So Nazar, if you ask me, that's motivation to me. I have to publish. When you publish the book with good publisher like UMK Press, I know UMK Press is one of the top press at the moment. They are publishing a lot of books. If you come to library, you can see a lot of books published by UMK. Credit goes to Encik Azman and the team, Jamirul. And I like to say thank you to Jamirul and Encik Azman, who are the one actually in the beginning. We don't have any office, we don't have anything, but Ms. Jamirul take me to Kuala Lumpur, sit with one graphic design. We design, and I remember how many days never sleep all night. And we both, and I really thanks to our librarian, Jasman and Amirul, and also Encik Fahmi, Wahia, of course, Asiati, and many more, which are the Puan Asma. And I think everybody helped me a lot in this context. That's how I published a book, and now I'm working close to the third edition. Exactly. Thank you.
Thanks for the great explanation, Prof. So my next question, Prof, is that is this book on the employee participation an academic book or a research book? And also, who is the target audience of the book, Prof?
Okay, as I mentioned to you, book can comprise many type of books. One is a popular book, one is a general book, one is academic book, another one is a research book. Okay, so there are many categories of the book, but all fall in under the book. So you can see that mostly social scientists, regardless business management or social science, humanities, all come under social science. So we are very much on the book, okay? Because book is actually not that easy to publish. Book need a lot of process, mental process, emotional, and it's okay. You ask me as this is a research book because also academic book, because there is a contribution to the academic in terms of the concept and knowledge that I bringing to this book. At the same time, I believe the book must go to the practice. So when you talk of practice, that's why I use qualitative. Many people talk about qualitative. Many people think that qualitative just interviews, just like also no. Qualitative is actually the whole philosophical of the science that you need to sit in the company for long term, at least for 3 months. So each company I gathered data in my book or my PhD thesis actually is from the company based case study, and I go every company for three months, almost 1 year. I spent in the industry, and I sit with them. I observe them. I talk to the various level of management. I talk to the top management. I remember one time I go lunch with the top manager and general manager, and also remember I have coffee with all the lower group of people, like postman. I still collect data. I think you have done experience this on the roadside. I having coffee with them, and I interview them. And also go to the cleaners, down to the clean hospital. I talk to them. So different level, I have different impression, and some people cry in front of me. That's a qualitative. You don't simply say qualitative. Many people don't know how to qualitative. Qualitative is a philosophical science. The other spectrum. So that's how I collect the data, and I come back. You imagine no data, no number, no numbers, just their thought, their expression, emotion, how to transfer into the academic research. That is secret. That is a tough one to do, and they speak multiple language, because that's why I keep on telling all, even Naza also, everybody I tell, you must know many language. The good thing of me is I can speak Tamil, I can speak Malay, I can speak English, and a little bit Spanish. Okay, when I go to Spain or maybe I go to Latin America, I start learning some. But the most important that I can speak my own language. I talk to the people in Tamil, Indian oriented. They can speak well and they can express. For sometimes they can speak Malay, but they're not very good in Malay. And of course, to the Malay, I've talked to Malay. To the English speaking, I'll be English speaking. To the management. So
I'm still learning to translate that language.
So I gathered the data, So then finally, what happened is not that easy, to get to write as academic book. So it takes long time to come up with a good research. And as you know, that data analysis will take about, I think it's about more than 6 months or 7 months. So each interview I have to go through, each observation. Sometimes I sit on the company meeting, I need to observe and take notes. It's not easy. People think easy, college is not that easy. And case study is very unique, very powerful in order to drive a new theory. And that's how my theory came into the picture. And then already on the, I'm very glad to say to you, Nazar, recently Employment Act, Trade Union Act, IR Act, all taken into my suggestion for my PhD. And they already make a law to amend the law within the existing law to allow employees to participate. One of the law I can say here is why I say this research book, under the law managerial prerogative. So managerial prerogative, you cannot talk or issue related transfer, or any promotion, everything. There's a law already allowed them under the section 2, I think in the Industrial Relations Act. Union cannot do all this. And union very important, transfer, promotion. But today, I heard the amendment not yet bring to the parliament, but there's some already given a room. I think Code of Industrial Harmony. I think you know about that. They give a room to amend it. That means employee or the union have say in the workplace. So that is a powerful of the PhD research. So research is very important. But research just put on the desk. Many PhD not come out as a book, and not easy to publish a book. Sometimes you need a lot of process. So you think about 5 years to publish a book after my PhD. and the credit goes to UMK lah. So that's why you see my book. Our target group, actually the closest one is my student, because they are the one actually start to discuss. Second group is a PhD, masters. I think you know what, most of my students using my book, I think they feel like very comfortable to write the case study, including you also, right? You know how to write and everything. So maybe many people not only read, they also put in the practice. That's why you can see just why in the photo we have a chief minister of Kelantan. I passed the book to him. He was very impressed. He asked me what the content. I also launched the book launched by ex chief minister from Sarawak, and of course YB Dato Talib, ex minister also, and many people. You know, they are even industry. Many industry people using my book into that. So you can see how powerful theory and practice.
Thanks a lot for the great explanation and the stories, Prof. So, Prof, as you just mentioned, and as I heard previously as well, this is one of the bestseller books from your PhD thesis. So my question here is that, Prof, how could you manage to transfer a thesis into a research book? What is your advice on this, Prof?
Okay, when you say the word bestseller book, it's not, I'm not selling the book, okay, remember, but I want people to learn, okay, when you want to learn, you have to read. I told many of my students, without reading, you just go to the computer, you just copy and paste, sorry lah, because you don't have a digestion on the reading to understand. Many students currently, how to do the assignment, they just go to the internet, and now very much internet available resources. Some of them we cannot predict, we cannot justify the data is true or not, the facts true or not. Everybody can write anything, but we don't want our students to do like that. We want them read. So first they read about your mind. Actually my book is their guru, they're reading about my mind. No need to even they can go back, read about me through the book, they understand that, and then come back, they ask question. So that is the most important, am I right? First priority I give to my student. You need to understand the subject matter. So when you read books, you get a big picture on that. So what I do that, okay, fine. I also do that. When I was in the university, undergraduate, I read all my professor book, even PhD. Program market got a lot of books. I willing to pay, willing to buy the book. When I was undergraduate, Nazar, I have no money to eat. You know that? Sorry, I come very poor family. My brother cannot support you. Then what I did? Every food I save $1, $1. I eat ordinary food, not like other people. People go having KFC, McDonald's, all my friends having all nice food. No, not me. So I save, like ringgit, $1. One day I went to the bookstore. I saw industrial relation book in Malaysia. Very small book, very small book, teeny book. I remember green. Wow, I'm so happy. I asked how much the price. They say 50 ringgit. I say 50 ringgit. Wow, never mind. So I save money from the food. I buy the book, and that's I know Professor Maimuna Aminuddin. I keep on track on her because she's the one who write first. Oh, so joyful reading the book. Because I love IR actually. I love IR. I get some prize. I like eating the KFC after a long time. I never eat. I read. I make. That is when I was third year. Right. And I dream. One day I want to see Professor Maimuna face to face. You know that? What happened, Nazar? One day I met her. I go to her, Prof, this is a book. Can you sign it now? When? Nazar? After I become lecturer. After I become doctor. How many years? More than about 15, 20 years I met again. Prof, can you sign? And she already got many edition, edition by edition. I buy every book, okay? But the first edition, I get a signature from her, and she was so happy. I take photo. I still remember Promemana. I think I take photo many. And one day I'm so happy Promemana invited me in her book, her edited book. I was author. Nazar, you can see that. How powerful is the book? No money to eat. Many students now so much eating. They enjoy their life. Not for me. I don't do that. So because I come from hard life, I never say to sharing is my problem to others. No, I never do that. I keep quiet. I pray to very hard to God. And also dream one day. That time no money. I dream, God, can I go to UK? I want to study IR. Can I go to Australia? All this dream. Can I be happen? With limitation, no money, how could I go? I'm always dreaming. Every day I go to the Penang, Got USM is a nice beach. I got old motorbike. I go to the beach. I sit down. I look at the sky and I look at the ocean. God, can I cross over this on day? I can go around. Exactly, Nazar. It's happened. I've been travel all over the world, from the continent from South America, touching from the Sao Paulo. I went to the what do you call Argentina, okay, and I went to the Lima and Buenos Aires, and I went to North America, New York, Europe, China, everywhere, even Asia, many countries I've been there. Everywhere I go, I attend IR conference. I met a lot of people, and I use my own money actually. Many lecturers said, I don't use money. Better don't ask money from the university. Sometimes you have to go by yourself. University will give all the promotion. Because of that, the heart is there. And then so my target group, not only in Malaysia, but also worldwide, right? So in my book also, I got 2 examiners already given. One a consultant from Professor Ring. I really praise him because he's the one invite me to do Holland for 3 months fellowship. I got the top 10 fellowship. I awarded scholarship to do research in Holland for 3 months, and Pro Ring bring me to the Shell company. I sit with him and do a lot of research. He's very helpful, and also Prof. From Denmark. He was my excellent examiner. So a lot of people along the way, Pro Luis Apreso, already passed away in Latin America. He's a guru of IR. Pro Russell Emeritus from Sydney, and even in Malaysia, Dr. Raduan, even my VC also, Pro Leslie, and all these is my mentors, my friends, and they helping. Even Pro Rosalina also one of the expert, Pro Naresh, and all these expert in IR and HR. So all the people actually along the way helped me, and many young lecturers. I learned many, including you and many people I learned from you all. I asked opinion how to improve. So the target group is so vast. From the policy maker, you can see, from the ministry level to the practitioners, HR, IR, and the student, postgraduate, DBA, and everything. So it's huge. That's why I want to do another edition to see a latest development. Okay,
Thanks a lot for sharing the story, and it was really interesting to hear all this from you, Prof. So, Prof, as you said, you were really interested in the field of IR. So, Prof, can you tell us what does employee participation means in relation to IR and also HR?
Okay, I think I already discussed some of the issues just now. Okay, employee participation is a part of the IR, industrial relation, part of some sub-component on the small component on IR, and of course, we drive to the HR. Okay, drive to the HR human resource. So human resource more to management, how to use IR to maintain the industrial harmony. So when you want to do that, you need to have some tools, some approach to make the industrial harmony between employer and employee, between management, and because there always a gap. Even today, this morning, Tan Sri Zul, who is the Vice Chancellor of University Islamic Antarabangsa UIA, he was talking about what we call happiness. Okay, happiness, and also you want the prosperity life together with the productivity. And I take one point. He said, even you have higher productivity, higher salary, if you're not happy, you won't go to that workplace. If you're very happy, the workplace is very conducive. The workplace, the management is very welcoming you. I think you like to go there and you enjoy the thing. So what I'm trying to say here is that employee participation as a tool, as a mechanism to bring closer between employee and employer, or union and employer. That's why under employee participation, you allow the employee to speak up. In Asian context, my PhD showed that many Asian people doesn't want to talk, including from Iran or from Iraq, all these countries, they don't speak up. They keep themselves, and one day it will burst. It's not nice lah. So there's no venue for them to say. So that's why employee participation giving away direct and indirect. Like direct is actually you can talk in the meetings. You have a quality control program, ISO 9000. You can speak, but if let's say company go ISO 9000, are they treat you equally to what they have? So that's another question. Indirect, we have like union. Union will talk on behalf to management. But in Malaysia, only 7% only unionized, and density is low. So 93% is employees actually what is it? They are not protected, no voice at the workplace. They have voice very limited. The voice more towards to management to improve the productivity and so on. But in terms of for themselves, their rights, the employee welfare, and flexibility, working hours, and all this, work-life balance, all this cannot be discussed because it's a one-way direction. If there's a union, many companies, like I can say example, Post Malaysia, you can read in my book one of the case study Post Malaysia. They have very good relationship between top management and the union management. Even union, I think, I believe we all visited the Post Malaysia office. Union give the office also, very nice office and beautiful office. Even the full time they're working there. So you can see how is it. The point is what I'm trying to make is actually how enjoyable when you have very close relationship. The moment the voice is shut down, the moment the voice is not represented, that's how the problem exists. When the problem exists between employer and employee, then you cannot talk about productivity. You cannot talk about performance. You cannot talk all this. So because there's no connectivity between these two. So that's why I tried to ask Ms. Nalini to do the PhD on NER, non-union representation. Although there's no union, but you have to create one platform like Work Council in Europe or Labor Management Council in what you call in Philippines, or Manpower Act in Indonesia allowed to form some kind of JCC at the workplace. Where is Malaysia still not? We only got Code of Conduct Industrial Harmony 75. So still haven't got some guideline and also something like law as we practice in European Work Council, European directive and so on. So we're hoping for that, and I'm also hoping for that. Probably one day the government will listen to to our recommendation, come up with a law and make every company have this kind of platform, so that you can see the progress of productivity or welfare. So it's actually win-win situation. You win, I win. Okay, even public sector also, I encourage to activate this. They have JCC. At least JCC staff Whitley Committee before the independent. British brought the Whitley Committee from British. It was successfully practiced in government sector, but still not very effective. It doesn't go to the employee side. Many employees don't know what's happening up there. So you must engage both level, at the bottom level and also at the upper level. When you bring the matter discussed to the manager, you should engage with the bottom. That's problem. We did some research on trade union in public sector. We found that members not very happy. It is not me. The result indicated members not happy. Members say, so what, we want a union. We doesn't want a union. Because our voices never represented to the upper level. And the union doesn't talk to us, doesn't engage. So how can, as a member, I need to be protected? So Razak, you can see that there's a big gap in this situation. So we have JCC, we have all this, but doesn't. So you need to engage with the staff first. Who is a member? Talk to them, get all the input, framework the input, make a report, and bring back the. You're just a middle person. You are not giving your own idea, but you're giving idea from the bottom. You collect the data, then you present to management. Let management listen. If they want to offer, it's offer. And you do the negotiation skill. You cannot go speak to management. That's why I encourage all the union leaders must get degree. Union leaders or union member, union committee in the country, you must get a degree so that management also respect. And now degree easily can access to any universities, but of course with the quality, right? So that is what I'm saying, theory and practice. So I think you understand the overall picture.
Yes, Prof. Thanks a lot for the great and vast explanation. So, Prof, as you stated just now, you have transferred your PhD thesis into the book, and I believe there were some challenges and obstacles that you have faced throughout the journey. So, can you please tell us what were the major challenges that you faced?
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot to discuss this before. Okay, every thesis can be a book, but not every thesis can translate into the book. Not that easy. If you look at most of the quantitative studies, their trouble is they can complete the study like on time, 3 years. But the trouble on them, challenges on them to transfer the numbers into the book. Because when somebody read, People don't like the numbers. I ask you the question to you. I pose. There's one book full of numbers. Okay, SEM, PLS, all numbers. Another book is full of story. Okay, two books writing about the employee's problem. One book is that. So which book you prefer to read and you read enjoyable?
The one with the story, because I understand the one with the story, because I understand what's happening and
Yeah.
I get the feelings of people.
Right. It doesn't mean that numbers are also very important. So I encourage both numbers and numerical and non-numerical. I said positivism and non-positivism, qualitative and quantitative. Am I right? Right? Both very important. But the challenge is your challenge is how to translate into the. So that's why you see a lot of quantitative studies. They go for ISI and Scopus Journal. A lot of qualitative. They will go some few Scopus, mostly go to book. And that's why we are talking in the upper level. So when evaluate for promotion, we need to look at this both. Okay, both is important because sometimes some journal they don't see the numbers. They don't like. They need the numbers, hypothesis testing, proven all this. So both can be. But for my to publish a book, it takes about 4 years to after my PhD. And I was thinking how to done. So it take a long time. We have to framework into the book. We have to cut off certain section. We have to like remove section, and you have to change the word, and many things you have to alter back, and you have to update the knowledge data into the book. And you must understand when you write the book who is your target audience, and the publisher also they want to make some money out of that because they invested to publish. So the first question they will ask whether this book can be sellable or not. That's from the marketing perspective, and you need to come up with all the plan for them what is going to happen in this book. So once the book already on the market, they start trusting on you. They will. So in fact, my thesis I can publish with the Routledge or Cambridge, Oxford. I can send because it's an English book, but I give back to my own university, and because I want to promote my university through books. So books also can promote to because I'm already writing one book in Africa already published with my PhD student, and of course UMK name is there. Anyone to buy and read, of course the name over there, and another one coming out in Indonesia very soon. Also there is a UMK name, so we can carry the name of UMK through books. If you put your thesis on the shelf, that's it, end of story. If many theses I say on the shelf only, it doesn't go to the publication. So that's why remember my dean, former dean, he said perish or publish. So the word I say keep it under. You work in a university, you publish or perish. If you come to university, you don't publish. Apart from teaching. Okay, teaching very important. Sometimes the book you publish can useful resources into the teaching method. Am I right? So teaching method can be various. Even we are now teaching, they can use our this audio, right? So we already teach to the public. Am I right? So the book is very useful. So that's a key challenge as well. You must convince the publisher whether they agree or publish because a lot of cost of money. And secondly, who is your target market? How you do the marketing, everything. So the marketing start from you, the author, and so on. Don't put the burden on the publisher, okay? Because publisher they have limitation. So another thing that I'm also working on that to work with the industry, collaboration industry. So writing book industry work with the UMK. UMK will publish a book. These are entrepreneurship. I learned a lot of entrepreneurship skill when I went to UMK. That's why I'm proud to be in UMK because UMK teach me how to be entrepreneur. So I have no money to start a business, but I can use the book as my entrepreneurial to do that. So maybe I can bring industry. I'm working on one of the book industry. Of course, work with my student. We all work together, and probably the book published by UMK, but sell by the industry because industry can access. Let's say they got 5,000 members. Am I right? So UMK also make money, and industry also make knowledge driven to the members, and members also learn the knowledge. Then they put in the practice. They produce high result, which useful for the company. Can you see the correlation or not? UMK publish, cost, industry will promote the book, you don't need to do anything. And our name, UMK, freely known to 5,000 members. And that 5,000 members use that book for their own benefit. You understand now? So that is entrepreneurship. That's how entrepreneurship think outside the box. I'm not trained as an entrepreneur. I'm not training, but I learned in UMK because in UMK I mix around with a lot of people in entrepreneurship, and I am all of my life part of entrepreneurship. That's why I'm so happy. UMK is number one university. So how to do business? This is one way. So you can see the trend now. Ebook, ebook can go everywhere in the world. People can just type, they can buy. So how far you do that? So you have to do a lot of promotion. You need to launch the book in the relevant seminar. You don't hope UMK will do everything for you, but the library will support you. All right, you don't put a burden on the publisher, but you also have to play a role. So work together. And you can see Aseanti, we all work together one. And the student also learn. Student also be entrepreneur. Sometimes students also know how to do that, and then we also reward them. So many things. Wonderful. Actually, the book itself can be an entrepreneurial product. It's a product, product, world ranking product. So don't think that you go inventing a new product, which have no money to do that. I put all my R&D, research development on the book, and I come up new ideas, and the idea can be useful to the industry, and industry use the idea, and an example, industry harmony. I'm giving all the techniques how to create industry harmony. Management use that one. They work close with the union. The union use. So you think there's no productivity? There's no performance? No? Cannot be top company? Cannot be best branding? Yes or no?
Yes, it can be.
And at the same time, UMK not known by the other industry people among them? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So books also can bring your name to the world. You can fly in. Book can go anywhere in the world. But same thing. Not the author get name, but the same thing. So that is how I transform my entrepreneurial mindset. I have no investment, no money to invest, but I use this investment. I help the university to promote, and finally, the book out of the order. And imagine, when the book is out of order, Nazar, I already reduced the cost of the university. Yes or no? They come up with, let's say, 6,000. I already pay back 6,000 to the university. Clear the account. All right? So I don't give burden. I don't put a book on the shelf. The book is already over. So I already helping. So in order to that, university also rewarding me like royalty and something like that. Okay, but even though small money, but that's not my question. My question is to promote UMK everywhere in the world. That's what I'm doing now.
Thank you, Prof, for the great explanation. It was really enjoyable to hear all this from you, Prof. So, Prof, as you just mentioned, the book is already out of order, right? And my next question is based on the contextual and theoretical aspects. So, Prof, what is your future plan for this book? And are you going to revise the book?
Okay. See, Nada, I have written about coming now is 19 book, 20 already published. Okay. And lately I go abroad. So I reduce the cost of the, let's say, university. I go abroad and publish in other countries, so that the book will be known in that particular country. Like example, Zambia. Zambia is a newly industrial nation in Africa, very developing now currently. And the book actually together with my student. And sometimes the student is very loyal to you, and we work together. So she contacted me, Dr. Atrish, and she said, Prof, I want to. She is actually a banker previously. She's a banker, and this is also about bank. Okay, bank. She talk about union management relationship in bank, and now she's a lecturer. She already become lecturer, Zambia University, all the big like University of Malaya like that, even UK. And she said, okay, published by one of the publisher there. And so that I go abroad. And the next one, I think very soon, already everything going to print. And maybe you are lucky, then we're going to launch the book. It is from UE, University of Indonesia. That's my thing, to bring UMK everywhere. All right, my intention is UMK. When we publish in that particular country, automatically the name of UMK will be flourished there. People know Wow, university. And you know, UE is a top 10 university, number 2 or number 1. Always in Indonesia, they refer to Universitas Indonesia. And most of the prime minister, president, or minister come from that university. It's same like University of Malaya. So when you publish there, automatically our UMK name was there also. And that's my next level. The third is actually to collaborate with industry. So rather than I do individual publication with my collaborator, actually most of the book I collaborate with my younger staff. I give a chance to younger staff. So then I now thinking to collaborate with industry. Okay, so that there's no cost for UMK. As an entrepreneur, you reduce the cost, you increase IN. So that's another my plan. The next my plan is actually thinking to. I'm editing one book now. So this one is very interesting. Very interesting. I invited 3 countries to be in editor board. One from India. You know, India is a huge market. Is how many billion? Maybe 2 billion. 2 billion people population in India and Indonesia. I got Dr. Ariana to be Dr. Frank. Dr. Frank is actually young scholar. He is working in one of the public university in India, and he is well known among the young scholars. They have own association, NGOs, professional body like Lavender Literature Club. And together, Dr. Ariana is from Universitas in Indonesia, and also Dr. Jaya is from science background. So we are planning to publish the book with UMK. So that and another new thing I bring here to bring UMK, we want to launch this book maybe in India, maybe during one of the conference, whatever. So we are planning to bring UMK everywhere now. So the moment the editors come from all over ASEAN countries, big countries, so the circulation, the penetration of the UMK everywhere in the world very fast. Rather than you just, many people think that only Kelantan, Kota Baru, even you think that UMK is just in Kota Baru. Yes, we are in Kota Baru, but we can go anywhere in the world. University is actually the human resource, very important. Any universities, depending on the academic staff, one of the main asset human resource, supporting staff, which is actually second, and third is actually the leadership who are supporting us. So the leader must be transformative, ethical, and also coaching. These are the 3 come together. Transformation is very important for vision and vision to bring UMK number 1 in not only Malaysia, in Asia. So when UMK got vision, I saw the vision. Vision UMK want to be top in ASEAN. ASEAN, ASEAN, which is ASEAN countries. Next, they want to be in Asia. They already put a timeline. First, they already achieved in Malaysia, already top 10. They already got accreditation from the Ministry of Higher Education. Fine. The next, we go to ASEAN. So how do we achieve this? You as a human resource, key person, I believe human is very important. Support the human resource so that they can bring to the next level. So what I see the top management vision to bring UMK as entrepreneurs to the next level. So with the book that we're going to publish, already one of the small initiative. And I want the VC to go and launch something like that. Small initiative, but it's a give impact. How? We bring the name of entrepreneurship to go there. And maybe some people from the other countries, they know our book, they when they read, oh, that's UMK. Wow. Why not I come and, to collaborate with UMK. And they start collaborate, start asking. So everybody knows where's UMK. So we are small, doesn't mean we're small. Okay. In terms of our focus, we are very big. Impact, and because I'm a adjunct professor, so I also can bring this one to UMK to collaborate. We can bring anywhere. So that's the reason I become the adjunct professor, because I want to make UMK so public, private can work together. So we need to understand all the stuff must understand why you publish. So I encourage every lecturer must have one book in their life, at least one book. We got 500 lecturers, 500 books, at least one. I don't want 10, 15, 18. No, I'm not expecting them. Only one book in your career, okay? And be addicted, all right? Publication. I know that's not easy to publish in the ISI Scopus. Me know, very, very tough. So, but with our energetic power and so on, we can do that. And also, you have to travel to other countries, bring your book together. like soon, maybe we're going to have launching the book another in ASEAN, ASEAN HRM. So all these people know about you because your book's available on the online. When they type your name come out. So people communicate. Last time why the TV all contact communicate with me, they look in the Google. They type Google. Suddenly they look for the expert they will call. So you have to put that kind of so entrepreneur means entrepreneur mindset, entrepreneur thinking, how to drive, how to bring our product to the world market. So our product, not only product that we were inventing, like scientifically inventing product, the book is about. For social science, this is the fastest can be penetrate in the market. All money, right? When you sell the book, it's money, value for the knowledge. The knowledge that you give, actually the value for the people to learn from your knowledge. So it's money, exchange money. And you reduce the cost of the publication. So I like to thank to UMK and also, for library especially to encourage this kind of program so that we can, to promote. And of course, after this video, we can circulate it, everywhere. So I think I covered what your expectation is. It I didn't cover, or you want to give some opinion?
Yes, well, thanks a lot. It was really fruitful session for me. I would like to ask my last question, and then maybe if participants have any question, they can write in the comments, and I'll read it out. So, Prof, as you just mentioned, you have published till today. You have published around like 20 books. So, in your opinion, Prof, this book on employee participation in Malaysia, what has made this book to be more attractive? What features was attracted by the target audience that they actually purchased this book and now it's already out of order?
Okay, I forgot one point. I'm actually revising the book for second edition to put all the latest issues happening around us, like COVID-19, okay, labor retrenchment, 4.0 IR, and labor changes, labor law. All this I want to update my book, and also include one or two chapters, latest thing that happening, like you see, minimum wage. Minimum wage actually come from the employee, a strong employee participation at the top level, which we call tripartism. Tripartism is under the theory is social dialogue. Social dialogue was promoted by ILO. ILO means International Labour Organization. I completed two projects with ILO, and I'm touching mostly on these issues. And of course, currently I'm sitting in the many committees at the national level and international level, so that I'm able to not only writing of books, but also disseminate the knowledge to the public and to the needs. So that's why people know about you. In my circle, my own circle, actually HR managers, HR practitioners. So how I promote actually through the social media, LinkedIn. I always go to the LinkedIn. I promote in the LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best. You need to promote yourself in the LinkedIn because LinkedIn is engage a lot of HR. So I have a 5,000 followers in the LinkedIn. Most of them is HR. Even I invite students, HR student, HR manager, and all this. So in fact, I'm also already engaged in ASEAN HRM, and Ms. Rita was the founder of the ASEAN HRM, and Malaysia is actually Chezol. Chezol is actually from Honda HRM, Vice President. So I'm also advising, be a mentor, mentoring. So I have a big plan, to do this. So why the book? Why? Because the content, first of all, and for PhD student, master student, the methodology that I use is very simple, but very advanced and easy for them to understand how to framework the research problem. So apart from the academic, this book also useful for students who want to plan to do qualitative case study. Very useful book, because in that book I already wrote how to write chapter 1, how to framework introduction into the context of qualitative and case study. Many people can say case study, but not many people how to design the case study into the different approach. So mine is more on the quality. My guru is actually Robert Professor In. He is the one actually guru that refer many people in the world on case study, and he talk about holistic, embedded. He talk about single, multiple case study, all classification. Even you do one person that can do PhD. can do. One of the, I met few scholars from European countries, and also from Malaysia. They only do one respondent, that's all. Can do the whole PhD can. So we have to understand the philosophical of science, ontology, epistemology, and methodology. If you don't understand these, you don't know why we use qualitative and quantitative. So my book also very useful for those people who want to know qualitative approach, and especially case study design, especially how to collect data, how to conduct interview, how to analyze interview, how to conduct an observation, what to do and document, everything very clear. And currently I have a few PhDs also doing on the ethnographic method, where they're bringing their own experience. So that's the reason attract also another thing for the postgraduate student. Sometimes they say, oh, I mean, I can ask you, can you explain? When you first get my book, how's your impression that with your PhD?
Yeah, because for me, I was new in the field of qualitative, so the book actually really helped me to understand the concept of case study, the method, the data collection techniques. It really helped me to, I mean, it made my life and my PhD journey lots easier. It simplified for me everything.
Yep. So basically, that's how the student will be learn lah. Okay. So you can see in the picture also a lot of industry. Yeah, these all the industry people lah, working in the many years, 20 years like that. So they use my book and then they learn something. Not a trade union, and also even the practice, policymakers, because I quite close with the policymaker like IR department, trade union, trade union department, and labor department from Sabah, Sarawak, and also ministry. Yeah, and so all these people I think start looking at the content actually. The content and the method also is also useful for the student undergraduate, masters, MBA, BBA, or even PhD level to get this book, and they learn how to do case study. Very systematically analyze on case study, and you can understand clearly what is the qualitative. Because imagine my examiner from abroad, one of them, late Professor Jos Kadang passed away. He's a president of Industrial Relations Philippine University. He's advisor for the Minister of the Labour Studies. He's a founder of the School of Labour Relations in Philippines. He already passed away. So he's my examiner. Imagine how good he is. He's a top 10 in the world. Well respected people, and the school, they have faculty, School of Labour and Industrial Relations in Philippines. Then another one, Prof from Denmark. So he also very well known in industrial democracy. But imagine I'm writing in Malay. No, I get data in Malay, in Tamil, but I translate in English, and that's another challenge to write in English. Not easy, You need to have a lot of mental to it. And then, right, somebody read in Denmark and I got the best comment from them, both of them giving the best thesis. No need to do any comment, but I do comment because I did respect comment, but they said no need. And so how they can do? How they do? So you are justifying through the literature review, citation, everything, the scholars. So many students know how to write qualitative content. They don't know who's a scholar. You have to know two scholars. One from your own study, like you asked me in IR, I know from the A to Z, from Luis Apreso, Russell, Dunlop, Alan Fox, Wax, Richard Hyman, Ray Marque, many scholars, even in Malaysia, there's another one, so many, Malaysia, Prophet Maimuna, and all the names I know. But in terms of the qualitative, also know Silverman, Miriam, Patton, Guba and Miles, right, Guba Lincoln, Geese, and of course Robert In, and many people. So you see, that too must be complementary. You cannot just know how to do, collect data on your field, but you also know how to do collect the. So the book very useful. I encourage people outside there, any students, please get the book and read. You get a first impression on HR and IR. Secondly, you know how to do research through the qualitative method and using case study or ethnography.
Thanks a lot, Prof. So I have asked all my questions, and thanks for the great explanations provided by you, Prof. I feel really grateful to be a part of this fruitful session. So now if participants got any questions, they can just ask them to
I think most students now busy at their class. Some of them
Yeah.
are coming back. It's okay. I think we can share the video later on also. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure.
If any question, you can ask. Continue ask lah. Asyati, any question? You see? How many people joining?
No, sir. And no more question.
Tak
Maybe
apa,
busy.
Yeah. The new semester kan, they just started.
Yeah.
And that's why it's okay. We can share.
Thank you, Prof. Dr. Balakrishnan. Thank you, Ms. Nazani Dara, for our session today. Hope one day we will meet up again. And for audience, thank you very much for your time. Anything can WhatsApp us 013-923-5806. Thanks again. Terima kasih kepada semua yang bersama kami hari ini. Saya Siti Cik Hassan. Ingat buku, ingat pada BMK. Salam, jumpa lagi. Bye-bye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I know you want me. You know I want you. I know you